Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's CNCF TAG Environmental Sustainability Meeting. We have today Wednesday, the 17th of April. And this meeting falls under the CNCF Code of Conduct, which can be summarized to be just awesome people. And we have a couple of folks in the meeting. So if you could add yourself to the attendees list, this would be great. I sent notes to the meeting doc in chat. And we start with welcoming any new or first-time attendees. Is there somebody who would like to introduce yourself? Feel free. If not, you can also, if you like, just write something in the chat or introduce yourself next time or at some other point you like. Right, okay. Let's move to the next section about working groups. Do we have Trisha here? No, we have not. So I'm not sure if there's somebody from the working group comms in this meeting to give an update. I don't think so. Claire is still on vacation. So I think I will ask after this meeting Trisha to give an update over Slack. Then we can read it up and ask questions. Is there anything you would like to talk about working group comms? I think I have not attended the last meeting, so I'm not aware of the latest things happening. But as far as I know, we are still working on kind of like understanding, okay, what is the role of each of the sub-team leads? We started the project, Cloud-Native-Sustainability Week, and I see that we have a hand up.
Yeah, so this is Lisa with Red Hat. I would love to join the group. When I looked, it was at some ungodly hour West Coast time. Or maybe perhaps it was because it was oh yes, it was conflicting with two other meetings I have in the morning. And I was wondering if there was a process for revisiting the time.
Yeah, so this is like the time we set out in the beginning of starting the working group. But I think we can bring this up in the discussion if it would make sense to move it half an hour or an hour or so. Usually we don't really want to do that because this time usually works well for EU and NA. But I mean, there's like some wiggle room, I think, right? So I think it makes sense to bring this up in the next meeting and discuss how the others that are regularly would like to attend or are attending the meeting feel about the time, and then we can make adjustments. I mean, this is not set in stone, so definitely possible to change it if it works for the other ones, other people. Yeah. Right. I will make a note and then, or if you could just add it to the discussion items. So if you cannot attend it next time, hopefully you can get filled in afterwards.
I'm sorry, attend which next time? This meeting or the other meeting?
The working group comms meeting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe just a discussion in the working group comms Slack maybe also works.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions or things about working group comms? So the next meeting of the working group is tomorrow at this time. So, okay. Moving to the working group green reviews. Is there not Alessandro. Nikki or Antonio? Yeah, I see Nikki in the meeting.
I can give a brief update. Also, if Ross afterwards wants to give an update, that would be awesome. Last week, we kicked off the new quarter. We are, in this quarter, we're focusing on going back to the work we did and improving processes, focusing on automation. So we are creating 3 proposals. One for how we've shorten them to deploy run reports. The first proposal, deploy, is how we'll trigger GitHub Actions, the GitHub Action workflow from upstream CNCF project releases, with all of the the tools, binary, anything that is needed to run that. And Ross has more info, but yeah, just to give a little outline of proposal 2 and 3. Proposal 2 is how the benchmark tests are run, how we'll create like the library of benchmark tests in the pipeline, and the third part is reporting. So how we fetch and store the metrics for each run, for each test, so that we can get the SCI or other sustainability related metrics per run. Ross, would you like to give more information on the first proposal and how it's going?
Sure. So on the first proposal is how we trigger the workflow and then deploy Falco. Yeah, we're making kind of fair progress, but there's a draft of the proposal, just like the early part. And this week we'll be getting in touch with the Falco team and get their feedback as well. But essentially there'll be a webhook that they'll call back, that they can call back out. And that will trigger the workflow. So we just need to sync with them about that, how that happens. But yeah, we just mainly focus on the proposals and yeah, making progress there.
If anyone would like to contribute, this is a great time to join Working Group Green Reviews and contribute to a proposal or ask any questions to, as the proposals come in, if anything's unclear or if you have any ideas. And then with the implementation part, of course, also.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think this is a great breakdown of like things that we need to work on, splitting up also the automation from investigation stuff and so on. So I like this a lot. I sent also the link to this tracking issue in chat. So if you would like to check it out later, feel free. There's also associated issues to it, right? So action, trigger, and deploy. So basically, right. So if for these ones, there's like sub issues, which then go into more depth. All right. Any questions for Working Group Green Reviews? The next meeting is next week, Wednesday. Okay, then moving to the next section about projects. Starting with the first one from best practices for environmental sustainable Kubernetes clusters. Jakob or Marta, would you like to give a short update?
Yeah, hi. We had our second meeting on Monday. We had 2 new people joining for the first time. So we started with an introduction to the project and just a discussion, a lot of brainstorming of ideas. So we expanded our working document a little bit, and we have, I think Jacob is going to pick up work on sustainable autoscaling. Christina is going to work on data center location in the context of where's the best place to run your Kubernetes cluster in the cloud. And Wilco, who joined us for the first time, is going to spend some time brainstorming more ideas in the next days. And I started working on workload repair in the context of Kubernetes sustainability. So none of us has anything concrete yet to present, but people are thinking in the next days. And we'll be fleshing out more issues to put on the project board now that we have all the administrative things in place. Like we can move issues around, assign them, tag them, and we can also record Zoom meetings, because the meeting on Monday wasn't recorded. and because none of us could. I think that's it. Jacob, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that covered it all.
Are there any questions regarding anything?
I see, Christina, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that it's worth mentioning that we also reached out on Kubernetes Slack, or Marta reached out on the SIG Contribex channel that you shared tips for, Leo, so that we also shared about this project there as well. So maybe some folks from there will join at some point. And today we also published a post about this project on LinkedIn and X, so please share it if you get a chance to spread the word.
All right, very nice. Is there something you need help with, or like support, different, like somebody reviews issues or something like that?
And that's a good question. I think that now, not right now. I think once we start coming back with any text recommendations, then review, the more eyes will look at it, the better. There is I had something and then it slipped my mind straight away. No, brain freeze. I think, yeah, I think not right now.
Okay, very nice. So if there's like no response in Kubernetes Slack, this is sometimes the case. Maybe you need to tag some people, because it's like, if there's like a channel with 2,000 people or more, nobody maybe feels like obligated to respond. Sometimes you just need to ping them. But all right, very good. Are there any questions for Kubernetes, the best practices project? I see applause from Jochen for a great start. All right, moving to the next one. Landscape document rewrites.
Yes, I just published the beginning of the second chapter, aka the measuring chapter. That is still work in progress, still far from finished, but I think it gives an impression of what I want to do with that chapter. And yeah, haven't received a lot of comments yet. I believe all of the comments that I've seen on the Google Doc are my own. Yeah, so if you want to, feel free to add your comments. And we also last time discussed with Marlo that we want to have a meeting where we discuss how we can share work, how we like the vision for the document, how we want to proceed. Not quite sure who wanted to set that up. It might have been me. If so, totally missed that. I will talk to Marlo again, probably on Slack asynchronously, to find a slot to meet. Probably in May, because before then I won't be available. Yeah, so that's the progress here. So actual things that have been written and some more discussion that we need to do in the future, which I will see to it that this gets organized. All right.
All right.
Questions?
From my side, I think setting up a meeting would be very good to do it soon. Maybe, I mean, if the availability is like early of May, I think that's fine. Maybe until then we can find some people to review it, and then we can just work from meeting to meeting on writing the details out. I think like writing the first landscape document, these meetings were quite helpful just to discuss it, because like there's a lot of like details to discuss in those documents. So I think that could help.
There sure is, yes.
All right. So if somebody in this meeting is interested helping out with this rewrite, I think there's like still quite a bit of work to do, and we don't have a lot of people. I mean, right now it's mostly just Jochen, right? So some help would be very, very helpful. So I can send also the link to this doc, to this issue in chat. There's like documents linked somewhere here. If you scroll down, probably it's this one, right? Yeah.
That should be the Google Doc, yeah. The one, no, the one from, yes, there. From Christina. She set up the Google Doc. Yeah, as I said, I made some comments already. There's, I don't know, 3-4 pages of content. Yeah, let me know what you think.
Awesome. All right. So I sent the link also in the chat. If you have like a little bit of time, feel free to give it a read. And let's set up these meetings. All right. Any questions for the landscape document project rewrites? V2. No questions. All right. Then moving to the next one, green scraper. Christine.
Yeah, that's a bit of a smaller project in scope, or just trying to get what we started some time ago finalized. So that's about creating a workflow that would automatically scrape data about sustainability related sessions and conferences, and create PRs that could update the events page on our website automatically. Me and Al Hussein will be doing this. Al Hussein has donated also a green scraper project to our green tooling repo, and where also Willem donated his version. So we have right now 2 tools to choose from. It's like a luxury. And he has also been working with the workflow like privately in his own time. So we are just starting out with the first meeting Monday next week to outline what we need to do and how the workflow should look like, and see which tool of these 2 we should use, and if there are any additional things that need to be added to the tool based on some feedback we got, at least from testing out one of those tools. So we're just kicking it off on Monday. It's a bit smaller, but a bit technical. So I will see if Al Hussein will be joining these meetings or not. But anyway, if anyone is interested, I am not sure how much work it will be. Probably not very much, but still, input and any input and help and engagement would be appreciated. So it's also in our calendar, in the tax calendar, the meeting starting Monday next week, and then we'll see how often. Probably monthly, I guess. We'll figure it out. So yeah, that's current
Right.
state of things.
I think that's a very cool, like small project when you can at the end then go to the tag website, and then there's like a page events, and then you can just say, okay, these are all sustainability, cloud native sustainability related events happening, and then I don't know, maybe do some filtering also. I think would be a nice benefit or thing for the community. All right, are there any questions for this project? So also for this one, we don't have too many people working on this, right? So just Christina and Al Hussein. If you would like to contribute something that's, I think, more lightweight, I don't know, this would be very helpful. Okay. All right, moving to the next one, Cloud Native Sustainability Learning Path. We have Max in this meeting. We do not. All right, I was not able to attend the last meeting, so I'm not sure. Actually, maybe Pavel, I see you are on the call. I'm not sure if you attended the last meeting. Maybe.
No. I also missed it. But from what I know, there is no progress yet.
All right. So I think I will reach out over Slack, like also with the working group comms, just to give an update, get an update, and then we can just ask any questions.
I think Max was the only one in the column. I still have a task on my list to work on this, but I will probably discuss it. The next call is coming Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope then we'll be able to tell something.
All right, sounds good. Okay. Any questions for this project? Probably the best way would be to ask it also in Slack, because I don't think I can answer it. But feel free to check it out. There's the link. There's the link. Okay, then to the last one, Cloud Native Sustainability Week. So Nancy added some comments here. So we kicked off the recurring meetings on Monday, so this Monday. She also opened up an issue to gather some feedback from the last Cloud Native Sustainability Week, which happened last year in October. So if you've been part of the event and would like to, I don't know, contribute to changing the event for this year, feel free to add your thoughts to this tracking issue, to this retro issue. We also created a project board to track all the issues. And next steps is to reach out to Audra from the CNCF to engage some meetup organizers for the event, right? So I think most of us in this call are aware of this project. So last year we organized in October a Cloud Native Sustainability Week, which means that we had at the end 22 in-person meetups around the globe. So I think at the end was like four continents. So quite a big event, and we plan to do the same this year, but we can change some things up. So we learned some things from last event. So the goal is to take the event idea, organize it again this year, and maybe do some things better. So if you're like organizing local events, that would be great to participate. Are there any questions for the Cloud Native Sustainability Week? So we have recurring meetings. I think it's every week or every second week on Monday. So it would be the best place to engage. Yeah.
I was just throwing this idea. We have a sub channel for the week in the Netherlands. What if the local organizing group wants to organize regular meetings? I was thinking do it in the other week when the global team doesn't meet. Do you think it's worth to put it in the tag environmental sustainability global calendar, or we'll just organize ourselves? We probably are like 4 or 5 in the Netherlands, so maybe it's not worth to put it in the global calendar of the tag. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can bring this to the to next week's Cloud Native Sustainability Week meeting. I don't know if like other community groups do the same. I feel like in the Netherlands we have like the strongest engagement of organizers. So maybe Netherlands is a little bit special in terms of like how many meetups at the end will maybe happen. But I don't know, maybe like a roundtable of local meetup organizers could also be interesting, right? So sharing these meetings is probably maybe not the worst, right? Because other people can just pop in and ask questions. you're doing like such an awesome job in Netherlands. How can I do the same?
Thank you. We are special. We are just regular people. We'll keep notes like we do with the rest of the meeting. So we'll post it on the main channel in Slack that we are meeting, and we'll try to be transparent, of course. You think every meetup group that wants to do the week should open a GitHub issue for that, or you think it's much?
Maybe.
Well,
There's
we'll
also
discuss this next week. Yeah, for sure.
right. I think it would be best to discuss this next week. But this might be like a good idea. And I can see that decluttering the tracking issue a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. All right. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Are there any questions for this project? All right. Otherwise, we move to the open discussion items, and we have still half an hour. So if you have like anything you would like to discuss, feel free to add it here. Right. The first one is from Christina and Valeria, proposing for user stories project, searching for a co-lead. Would you like to talk about this?
I can go. Yes, next week, Christina helped with the better defining this project proposal. So we better defined the description, the scope, and the goals and non-goals of this project proposal. And basically, as the title says, we want to gather user stories that will be used as examples of how cloud-native environmental sustainability can be approached. This project right now will be under the comms group. So the deliverables will be blog posts and we thought about having a kind of a subsection on the website. So we will have some blog posts and blog posts per user stories. Right now, Christina proposed herself as the project sponsor, but we need another co-lead. Right now, I'm the only project lead, so it will be very helpful to have a second lead. And yes, if anyone is interested in this project, that basically started with an initial proposal from Nikki, and then we ended up with this proposal that is more complete, I think. So if you are interested, the main main problem we found that is that sometimes end users do not know what to do in order to implement environmental sustainability, and we want to give these examples and say, so you can some people did this and you can do too. So yes, this is this is what this project proposal aims to do. I don't know if Christina want to add something or.
No, I think you summed it up really well. So I think the challenge is that, as you said, that right now we hear many questions regarding how the real life appliance of environmental sustainability related tools and practices and patterns, and it would benefit a lot to gather this type of stories to share. So this can be a very important project to be a part of that can benefit a much broader community, also help support implementing this based on real life knowledge from existing company adopters that are already doing that. So I really hope we can find a co-lead for this one.
Well, the problem is, and I know that you have nothing that it doesn't help right now. I already said it before. This is right up my alley. I would love to do this, but I know that I can only commit from July, and then I don't have any hinder from that moment because I have now also other priorities. So if I would now join in, I couldn't contribute in the way that I would want to. But yeah, from July, if then this still is going on, I hope so. I really want to, because this is really the mix between understanding customer and just user needs to in the mix with sustainability and using the cloud native or certain products. Yeah. So sorry that I cannot right now.
Nikki, you have your hand up.
Yeah,
I think Nikki wanted. Okay.
yeah. So wanted to also add that the first use case that we were thinking of focusing on was the Deutsche Bahn keynote that was shared as a keynote during KubeCon, and they showed how well they mentioned Kepler for energy monitoring. They mentioned auto-scaling like VPA, and that's one example that we can already focus on. I'm trying to track. Well, I spoke to the speaker. I'm trying to get this organized, but essentially it would be great to have a process behind this. So if someone can support Valeria with this, yeah, Wilco, when you're able to, that would be great. Yeah.
And I'm very serious about it. So that's also why I'm already trying to come to the meetings and understand what's going on. So from the moment that I have the opportunity and time that I can help anywhere I can. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. All right. Yeah, I think also CERN, I spoke with them also on KubeCon, and they had like a research group last summer investigating the energy footprint, and they have, because there's like a lot of like public funding, or the entire thing is public funding. There's like some special things they need to apply to in terms of sustainability. And they also mentioned interest in sharing their story or their perspective. Somewhere here, there it is. So I think Deutsche Bahn, CERN, I think there's like a lot more interesting user stories to talk about. Sharing this would be very interesting. So I think very key project, telling the story, sharing the work, learning from others. So if somebody is interested in co-leading this or just contributing, maybe supporting, reaching out to one company or whatever, where you know they have like a passion about this, or some people are kind of trying to figure out what it means for their company, right? So sustainability in the cloud, how they can apply it would be very nice. All right, let me share also this issue in chat. Feel free to drop in any comments. Do we start meetings about this project already, or do we wait for a co-lead? What do you think, Christina, Valeria?
When we started with the project proposal, we organized a meeting with Christina because it kind of helped me much rather than talking with myself. So I don't know. I don't know, Christina, help.
I mean, we don't necessarily need to wait for a co-lead. The only thing is how you are feeling about it, I think, Valerie. If you feel comfortable starting it out by yourself with my support and eventually support from others in the lead group, maybe. I think it comes down to maybe how comfortable you are, and also if we get this project approved or not, because I think we should probably start meetings if we get the project approved and not before that, right? So
Yes, I was thinking it too.
but it sounds like quite a bit of support here as well for this project. So it sounds like it's not only us who think that it's an important project, and we have some potential candidates for the user stories. So
I think that we don't really have to wait if we have some examples and some things that we can do. Even if we have a slow pace, I think we can start. As Leo said, kind of a couple of weeks ago when he shared the project proposal, he said that even if we have some, even if we don't have too much time to give to a project, we can always do something.
I think we can also connect the comms working group in here when Claire is back, and Trisha as well, and maybe others, and Savita, for example, for the blogs, as for the blog lead. So I think we can also get support from that working group and the leads of that working group as well, so that even though we don't have a co-lead, you're not alone on this. So as you saw in the chat, both Leo and Marta and a few others are willing to give support. So I think we'll manage that, even with a slower pace in the beginning.
Yeah, because if I understand it correctly, you're also looking for, so are there already existing user stories, or are you also looking for new user stories? And can it also be research projects, like university research projects, or is that out of the scope?
I think it's it's in scope when it comes from some, like you mentioned, the university research. I think that's in scope. What is not in scope, that we in the tag do the research for someone.
No, I understand. No, because this morning I talked to like a scientist from the TU Delft who is working on edge AI for autonomic vehicles to be more energy efficient, literally with money from the European Union, because they expect that we eventually end up to a maximum of electricity, and the only way to solve things is to optimize every device we have. So that was like an extreme cool use case. So I was like, I don't have the time to contribute to working it out. I'm currently collecting a lot of conversation and ideas, so I probably will collect a lot of more of these, and also the people behind it. So I could ask him, like, are you eventually, so in the next week, like, are you interested in maybe contributing from your side or something like that? But I cannot promise anything. But yeah, but that will probably happen more often the coming months.
I think just ideas and contact points is invaluable, because that makes it so much easier for us, because then we would know who to reach out to.
I could do that. That is what I can do.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
will ask and then put it in Slack if I have permission.
That's great.
Thanks, Wilco.
Awesome. Yeah, I think with these user stories, we can obviously lean like on the companies or whoever is like the person that develops these things or that does the research, right? So we don't need to do all the writing, but we need to definitely kind of get those people. We need to know those people. We need to talk with these people, and then also get them and collaborate on writing blog posts or any of the other deliverables. So, all right. How about we give this another week? Maybe if maybe some people will show up after the social media posts as well, and then we can start the project if people reviewed, had like another week to review the proposal.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. So feel free to give it a read. Also, if you don't have any time to maybe contribute, but if you have time, maybe a minute or two to read it through. If there's like something you notice that could be updated to be a little bit more clear, it would be very helpful. Okay. All right. So the last item on the open discussion items is from my side, just a shout out that we have next week before the working group green reviews meeting, a getting started meeting. So after every major conference, we organize these kinds of meetings where people that are interested in the tag but have not really had time to join or just learned about the tag can join these meetings, and we just walk through basically everything, the projects, given like an overview about what has happened in the past, but also what we are working on right now and where we would like to work on maybe in the next year or so. So this is like a great way to get like a broad overview and maybe ask like some questions, which is happening next week. So feel free to join. Any questions for this one? Or is there anything you would like to discuss? We still have 14 minutes. I saw Sergio, you came off mute.
Sorry.
I saw it.
Yeah, I was like hesitating. No, you said that discuss about your this meeting, right?
Yes.
By my side, all good.
All good. Okay. Yeah, I remember actually there's like this one issue, Sergio, that you're working on to automate basically.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
let's say that
happening to the
yeah.
website that we detect those changes so we can translate it to Spanish and German and to other languages, Chinese and so.
Yeah, let's say that this issue is like taking, well, some time because we are like also organizing some things in the Cloud Native Guatemala, but then, well, one of my goals when I work with some issues in the tag ENV sustainability is like include the students to work on it, like because they are like beginners in contributing and that kind of things. So I am working this issue with Diana, is an ex-student, let's say. So she's like working right now in the workflow. Well, let's say that I created the bash script to detect the changes. So she's going to work on the workflow that is going to create the PRs. And our deadline is this week. So let's see what happens.
Awesome. Yeah. I think it's like a very neat automation. So if we have like more different translations, they're getting out of sync eventually, right? So I think this is like very key. So we have like a similar, ideally like the same version across all the translations.
We could probably even reuse the parts that you build in the workflow that creates pull requests for the Green Scraper project to create pull requests with the sustainability sessions content. So
same tech.
since you are first out with your work, Sergio.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so that's the idea. In the other side, I am exploring how to do something, well, measure footprint, energy, or something like that, but using hardware. So I am exploring. It's like a personal project, so I want to see what happens. Also, I am playing a little bit with food, energy, and that kind of things. I am trying to explore or research a little bit how this can apply to environment sustainability, but just exploring, nothing concrete, because I know that it's a topic that is between green stuff and environmental sustainability and edge stuff. So I don't know. So it's like just exploring the topic.
Yeah, experimenting. That's the
Yeah.
key. It's the key to pioneering.
Yeah, and experimenting with Arduinos and Raspberry Pi Picos. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what results of these experiments.
All right.
There were also, so maybe to give you some inspiration or ideas. So I sadly, yeah, I shouldn't look in my Outlook for his name. Doesn't matter. But he also explained a few things like, and that also counts for Arduinos and Raspberry Pis, that to optimize energy, they also try to calculate on lower bit rates. So instead of 32 or 64, even go to 8 or 4 bits, and also in memory in a way that there's no overhead in any form or sense. So that is also what they're using in their research. So that those are kind of maybe sometimes overlooked things, but yeah.
Something like, I am also exploring how to use solar panels to power these devices. So I don't know, just exploring. It's a little bit crazy experiments.
All right. Is there something anybody would like to bring up? So for this meeting, I didn't took the time to, where is it? Somewhere here. Yeah, to kind of walk through all those issues. I think we have like some legacy issues still open. So I will need to put some time aside, hopefully this week, to walk through all of this. So next time, hopefully, we can have like a better overview, also using some fancy tools like GitHub project boards to get like an overview about all those things happening. So as you can see, eventually it would be great that we have for each project like a tab, so you can just browse through those issues and so on. But it's a little bit cluttered, but eventually we will get there. So, all right. I will stop sharing my screen and stop the recording. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining this meeting.